Alright, look guys, this video's been a long time coming, man, and where to even begin? I mean, Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is just complete garbage. I mean, this is an anime that these man children still suck off to this day for some reason, even though it's, 30, 40 years old almost at this point. Um, and a bunch of nostalgia losers suck off this anime even though it's complete garbage. And now, at this point, it should be obvious why Dragon Ball is trash. There's plenty of people that have exposed this, made countless threads and shit, but I figured I better explain why I think Dragon Ball is garbage. So why could I think Dragon Ball is garbage, man? Now, this is gonna be a lot, just because this is a long series and Dragon Ball is so shit. But where to even begin, man? In general, the story is trash. The fights are garbage. I mean, the animation sucks. I can give the animation a pass, I guess, since it's made in the 80s. I can't expect it to be that good. But the characters are terrible. I mean, you have Vegeta who doesn't win like a single meaningful fight he gets into. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, one of the most powerful Saiyans, and he loses every battle he gets into. Besides, like, what the one with the android, these idiots will say like that was an actual main bad guy. Like that was a fucking meaningful villain to beat. And it's ridiculous. I mean, you have Piccolo too. I see hella motherfuckers sucking off Piccolo like Piccolo's actually a cool character. There's nothing cool about fucking Piccolo. Piccolo loses like every single fight he gets into. Like, I cannot recall a meaningful fight that Piccolo gets into that he actually comes out winning, even though he's supposed to be super powerful, like the Super Namekian bullshit they tried to pull, where he's just as powerful as the Super Saiyan, just to get his ass beat by Cell. Like, or whoever the fuck it was. I mean, Piccolo sucks, and every other Z fighter is just there to be a distraction and get beat down, basically be a punching bag until Goku arrives. What a shitty cast of characters. Like a fighting anime where none of the characters win fights except Goku, and then sometimes Gohan contributes. Like, completely fucking ridiculous. I mean, the art style is it's fucking ugly, and I mean the character design is terrible. I mean, the world building, let alone, is not great. I mean, there's really nothing good about this. And I can see why. And look, I know a lot of people are gonna get upset already because, oh, dude, this is Dragon Ball you're talking about, bro. Everyone loves Dragon Ball. Now listen, man. Take a second to think. Maybe, man, if you watch this as a kid and you still think it's good, and you haven't watched it since then, I mean, I just don't know how to get through to you. I mean, you people are just you people are just morons. I mean, if you watch it as a kid, that's one thing. You can admit that it's nostalgia. That's why, oh, you like it, right? But if you watch it as an adult, later on, and actually look at the plot and the storytelling and stuff, it's just shit. So acting as if, that's why I say these man children act like this shit's still good when it's just not. I mean, you have grown ass men hyping up this shit to this day, motherfuckers following Super and just all this other Dragon Ball movies and shit. I mean, just complete losers. I mean, imagine being so sad that you follow a pathetic franchise like Dragon Ball. I mean, this shit is just milk at this point. Like One Piece, man. And I mean, I see where One Piece just completely rips off Dragon Ball with the terrible pacing. And that's another thing. Dragon Ball's pacing is complete fucking garbage. Almost as bad as One Piece's. But I mean, One Piece's is of course by far the worst pacing I've ever seen. So, I mean, probably it's just God. I mean, but Dragon Ball, man. Where to even begin? We're going to go through the story kind of arc by arc, but let's talk about the characters for a second. I mean, the characters are garbage, one-dimensional, boring-ass characters. I mean, it's the Goku show, sometimes Vegeta and sometimes Gohan, basically. But all these motherfuckers just want is to fight. That's all they're motivated by, is to fight, beat the bad guy, and that's why I'm saying why the story is repetitive. It's just, essentially, if you haven't seen this by now, I mean, essentially it's just, bad guy comes in, Goku beats him, even stronger bad guy comes in, Goku has to power up and beat him, rinse and repeat. That's basically it. Bad guy comes, beat him, stronger bad guy beat, stronger bad guy beat. And these villains are lame as fuck too, man. Not a single, like, really good one. I mean, these motherfuckers love to suck off, like, the Frieza arc and shit, even though Frieza is complete shit. I mean, these motherfuckers just this is like the grandfather to shonen because it just introduced all these garbage, tropes and shit. I mean, God, man, you know, the power up, the transformations and shit. And first of all, before I get into, let me admit, there are some, I'll admit, Dragon Ball Z is iconic as fuck, but that does not mean it's good, alright? You know, the over 9,000, you know, that shit's funny, but when it comes down to it, the power system in this anime is shit. And that's basically what all this has going for it is, you know, when it comes to, you know, an anime centered on fights, you gotta have a good power system. All it is, oh, his power level is higher than yours. My power level is higher than that, this, that. Like, it's just your number going up because, you know, whatever, because they go Super Saiyan and shit. And Super Saiyan is complete garbage. I'll get into that. I mean, Super Saiyan is literally just, you know, the Saiyan race, you know, Goku, Gohan, these motherfuckers just start screaming and their body starts shaking and then their hair turns gold and shit and then, oh, they're powered up all of a sudden. I mean, it's not even explained how, you know, these motherfuckers come into this power, right? Or, I mean, even with Goku, it's not, you know, he's fighting Frieza and then he just starts, you know, shaking and screaming and then boom, he's Super Saiyan. Like, who taught him to do that? Like, how did that come to be, you know what I'm saying? How did he gain that knowledge? You know, it's not explained. Like, it's complete shit. The story is trash off the bat. I mean, just plot hole littered anime. I mean, it's just complete shit. I mean, straight off the beginning, you know, you have Raditz come in, you know, the Saiyan from outer space come down and reveal to Goku that he's a Saiyan and he comes from this race, and then, you know, because of the bullshit, Piccolo and Goku have to fight this guy, and then Piccolo has to kill them both because he couldn't walk closer with the super beam cannon and just kill Raditz, you know what I'm saying? It's just stupid ass plot hole right off the jump, but I mean, and then of course, you know, the plot armor in this anime is ridiculous because you know, if they die they can just come back with the Dragon Ball, and then even they say there's only, you know, one way to come back with the or you can only come back once with the Dragon Ball, but, you know, of course, because of bullshit later on, they find ways to keep bringing them back, you know, bring Goku back, bring all these motherfuckers back. It's just dumb, man. I mean, there's no weight to any death in this anime. I mean, because, you know, they're literally just going to come back when they get the Dragon Balls. Like, yeah, there might be a period of time they're waiting, but you know they're coming back. There's no fucking weight to this anime. Like, bro, the plot armor in this anime is fucking ridiculous. Like, this is One Piece levels of fucking garbage. And, you know, being Dragon Ball, you would think this is all about the Dragon Balls and shit, but it's really not. It's just they just find the Dragon Ball when they need to bring someone back, or they have to prevent, like, the bad guy from collecting them, right? Like, that's essentially it. So let's go into the story a little bit, you know, one by one. First arc, the Vegeta saga, you know, it was shit. It's just, you know, them coming in, the Vegeta and the other guy, Mappa or whatever his name is, he comes in, just fucking nukes a city, you know, fights Goku. It's just this long, dragged out ass fight. And, you know, it's just dumb because at the end it's Gohan who ends up beating Vegeta. You know, I think he's like 3 years old or 4 years old at that point, but because, you know, he's Super Saiyan, he goes off and you know, beats him, or he gets the final blow on him or whatever. They all kind of got to work together, you know, and of course, you know, at the end with the bullshit, Vegeta, you know, they're about to kill Vegeta, even though this nigga just came in, nuked the city, and threatened to destroy your entire homeworld. You know, Goku, because he has a good heart, because he's a shonen protagonist, he's like, wait, Vegeta can turn good. Let's spare him. You know, maybe one day he'll come back. That shit was fucking retarded, but you know, that's shonen. I mean, that's shonen. And, you know, guys, it's been a while since, like, I'm not going to rewatch everything and do, you know, all this extensive research into this shit-ass anime, so I'm not remembering everything, but I remember the shit that pissed me off watching this, and right there I was just like, well, what is that, man? And all their motivation is just to become stronger. You know what I mean? Like, I guess Vegeta wants to be Goku because, you know, he wants to be the strongest Saiyan and shit. And he wants to prove that he's better than, you know, Kakarot. Eventually, right? Which, you know, later on he ends up giving up on that shit anyways, which was complete garbage. Vegeta's arc as a whole was terrible. I mean, there's no character development in this anime. You can see, well, dude, he changed. He changed later on. Vegeta changed to what? To giving up on Goku and shit. And another thing, just while we're on Vegeta for a second, it's like how Vegeta got with Bulma. You know, that shit made no sense. And then, you know, later on when it comes to the Buu saga, Vegeta, kills all those people in the stadium, and Bulma's like, how could he do this? It's like, bitch, your dumbass didn't see when he came to your fucking planet and nuked the city. Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Even though just 'cause he's being controlled by a wizard, Vegeta is still kind of like, evil throughout the whole series, except, he still works with Goku, right? They've got that, like, kind of, like, dynamic, it's just shit. Naruto and Sasuke type dynamic, except, this is before, And I'm not saying Dragon Ball, I'm not saying it's as bad as Naruto or, One Piece and shit, but this anime is dog shit. So, the Vegeta saga was complete trash. Plot armor, lame-ass fights just dragged out. And, God, man, when it comes to Dragon Ball Z, there's just these lame-ass dragged-out fights, man. I'm going to get into that in the Frieza arc because, next comes the Frieza arc. And then, Frieza, he couldn't beat a bunch of kids to, collecting the Dragon Balls and summoning the dragon, right? So, he has to wait for, Goku comes out of the fucking back to tank or whatever the fuck it's called. And, he's healing in there while, Vegeta or Frieza's fighting all his friends and shit. And he's just sitting in there like an asshole. Not coming out to help him, but he's like, oh, I gotta get to full strength. He's just out here sensing them while Frieza's in this big fight with his friends and shit. It's just lame, because Frieza's saga is basically just, collecting Dragon Balls and shit and beating Frieza to summoning the dragon so that he can't get immortality or whatever. And somehow Frieza loses to these, like, 12-year-old kids, man. Fucking ridiculous, bro. Supposedly the most powerful, being in the universe he talks about multiple times. It's just so fucking pathetic, bro. And then Goku eventually pops out the tank, right? And then Frieza ends up, fucking blowing up Krillin, right? And, Goku still finds it in his heart to, give Frieza a second chance after they go through this. Everyone has to flee the planet, and Frieza's, like, gonna blow up Planet Namek, to kill Goku, take him down with him. Except Frieza can, breathe in space so he would escape. Just dumb. And so, have this long-ass, dragged-out fight. It felt like 20 episodes, like 30 episodes. I don't know how many exactly, guys, but these fights are like, oh my God, they're dragged out over like 20, 30 episodes. That should not be possible, bro. Like, why? They do this shit just to, like, extend the run time. It's so fucking annoying, bro. I hate when that shit happens. God. Like, this terrible-ass pacing, bro. Like, why the fuck do we need a 20-episode long goddamn fight scene? It's just, Frieza got the upper hand. Oh, now Goku's got the upper hand. Oh, Frieza got the upper hand. Like, God, it's so ridiculous. And then when it comes to beating Frieza, Frieza, the shit was so lame. It's like Goku is gonna, he had, like, I forget what it was, but something, was gonna slice Frieza in half, and he threw it or something, and Frieza's like, you're not gonna get me by that. And then, like 2 seconds later, Frieza doesn't fucking pay attention and gets sliced in half because he wasn't paying attention to the thing he just said that he wouldn't. It's just so fucking dumb, and that's how he gets beat, right? But also another retarded thing was when Goku was sitting there, spamming, or he was charging up his spirit bomb, right? I think while Piccolo was fighting Frieza, because he, fused with that Namekian dude or whatever. I forget exactly, but, he's sitting there charging up this fucking spirit bomb forever. Frieza's just like, might as well just let him, because, what else could be going on? You know what I'm saying? It's just dumb. Like, these villains in this show just sit there and wait for, like, Goku to beat him, And when he fucking finally had the goddamn spirit bomb charged up, he had all the fuck ton of energy, floating in the sky, and it's coming down. Goku starts bringing it down on Frieza, right? Frieza just sitting there and staring at the motherfucker for, like, 10, 20 seconds. Like, I don't know how long that actually is in the anime, but bro, this nigga was just bragging about how he's the fastest being in the universe, Frieza, and he's sitting there staring at the fucking spirit bomb coming down to end his life. That is fucking retarded. Oh my God, like, the same shit happens with Boo, like, later on, he's just standing there, let me bring the spirit bomb down. Like, it's dumb, bro. These supposed, cold-ass villains. And, that's how he beats Frieza. And then even once Frieza gets chopped in half, Goku's like, I'm going to give you some of my energy to give you a chance to get off here, even though after you just destroyed this entire fucking galaxy and threatened to, or destroyed this entire fucking planet and threatened to come to my home and destroy everything and everyone I love, I'm going to give you a second chance because I'm a shonen protagonist and that makes sense. Like, you do you see the problem here, people? I mean, the only thing this anime has going for itself is it has these flashy colors when it's fighting, like it's a fucking strobe light. You know, you're sitting there in front of the TV. I mean, only an idiot could think that's fucking cool. Or, you know, if you're just sitting there like baked out your fucking mind watching, you know, these flashy colors and fights. Yeah, I mean, that's different. But I mean, if you're actually looking at this shit objectively, it's garbage. I mean, Goku is such an idiot, man. I mean, you know, he's a grown man, but he acts like a child when it comes to, you know, serious things. I mean, moving on, like, the villains are fucking morons. Moving on to the Cell arc. I mean, Cell was complete shit. I mean, you know, and it's hilarious because each of these villains, you know, they just transform. Like Frieza was saying, I'm only using 1% of my power. You know, he transforms into a form. You know, oh, he's upgrading his power. You know, each form just as shitty as the last one. All these villains do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Cell does that shit, and Cell's forms just continually get worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many plot holes when it comes to Cell 2 and Dragon Ball. Like, how the fuck did Cell literally get nuked and then somehow regenerate? Because, oh, well, as long as he has one cell, he can keep coming back, guys. Fucking retarded, bro. The nigga got nuked in the Cell arc. Right? And going to the Cell arc, I mean, that shit was completely dragged out. The Cell games, like, what was the point of that shit? I mean, Hercule saying a whole nother character, comedic relief, but I mean, like, unironically, Hercule is low-key better than all these fucking villains, and even the main characters. Like, just because he's comic relief. And, you know, when it comes to the Cell arc, you know, it's just dragged out. You know, the androids, I mean, what was the point of the androids? It was basically just building up to the Cell arc so Cell could absorb them. And, you know, another stupid-ass thing that happened when it came to the android arc was Krillin and the remote, bro. Like, that shit was so weak, man. Like, Krillin is such a shitty character. I mean, all these characters, you know, the Z Fighters, Yamcha, you know, Tenon or whatever his name. I forget his fucking name, you know. The dude that hangs out with the short gray dude. Guys, I forget. These characters are so fucking irrelevant. All they are is just punching bags for, you know, Goku to arrive and save the day later. But with the Cell arc, I mean, there's just so many plot holes. Like, how did, you know, Cell absorb, you know, Android 18 and 17 or what? I forget the numbers, but the girl Android, right? He absorbs her and she becomes a part of him, right? But then later on, once they beat him, you know, Android 18 just, or the female Android or whatever, just comes back, you know, in a complete whole form. How did that shit make sense? But the other Android, the guy Android, originally didn't come back, right? Even though he got absorbed too. It just makes no sense. Cell is a complete plot hole. It's fucking retarded, man. And, you know, oh my god, another thing that pissed me off about the Cell arc, now that I think about it, was when they were doing that long dragged ass out fight, was when Vegeta and, you know, Trunks come in. And, you know, I'm kind of assuming that, you know, people watching this rant, or at least this far, we're like 16 minutes in, have seen Dragon Ball, so I'm hoping you guys understand what I'm saying. But when it comes to Vegeta fighting Cell, you know, once Vegeta finally becomes Super Saiyan and he's beating the shit out of Cell when he's in stage 2, Vegeta gives him another chance. He's like, what, son, Trunks, don't you want to see him evolve into his next form? Wouldn't that be so cool? So we can fight him at his peak power? Even though we could literally beat this guy right here who has fucking, you know, absorbed entire cities of people? You know, genocide the entire planet. I get Vegeta doesn't really care about Earth, but I mean, still, bro, you have the chance to fucking kill this dude, Cell, right here. But no, let's drag out the arc even longer. Like, who wrote this shit, man? I just do not get it, bro. I mean, Vegeta right there, that shit was fucking retarded. And then Vegeta always gets his ass beat and then gets down bad later. Like, maybe you would fucking learn, you know, after doing this shit. But let's, you know, because he does the same shit with Majin Buu later. I mean, God. And going back to the Krillin remote thing, I mean, they had the chance to stop the androids in the first place, right? And then Cell would have never basically, I guess, you know, absorbed them if they did this. If Krillin had just pressed the remote to shut down the androids in the first place, right? But because the fucking girl android kissed him on the cheek, this dude basically was willing to give up the whole fucking his whole fucking planet for some like fucking robot pussy. Like, dog, what was that? I mean, bro, they are slaughtering your friends and shit out here, and you're like, well, because she's a female, and you know, she was nice to me that one time, even though, you know, she's fighting all these motherfuckers, and I could, you know, shut her down. Maybe we can change her later. It's just, that was the most simp shit ever, bro. Like, that, I can't stress how fucking retarded that shit was, but it's like, I guess I'm not that mad anymore, because it's like, I've come to expect this garbage quality from anime. I mean, that shit was completely fucking retarded. I mean, Krillin is a terrible character. Because, I mean, alone because of that shit, that could have just prevented this arc. But no, let's drag this shit out because the author of Dragon Ball Z is a fucking idiot. God, man, you have an anime relying upon fights and these shonen tards to suck it off. I mean, it's terrible, bro. God, I just don't fucking understand. I just don't get it, dog. And then, you know, they beat Cell with, and, you know, it's finishing up the Cell arc. It's Kid Gohan who, you know, becomes Super Saiyan 2 or whatever and beats Cell, you know, because that makes sense. And it's just stupid because, you know, Goku, you know, even though it took Goku, you know, his entire adult life to become a Saiyan, now just because he has kids, you know, Gohan and Trunks and fucking Gotenks and whoever comes on later, it can just become Super Saiyan instantly or Super Saiyan 3. It's just a plot hole in itself that is completely fucking retarded. Cell should have died. The plot armor in this anime is off the fucking chain. I mean, guys, Dragon Ball Z is just shit. I mean, the Boo arc is shit. I mean, a bunch of fucking filler and just irrelevant ass storytelling. I mean, what was the point of that whole tournament arc, man? And these motherfuckers, I mean, these motherfuckers in the tournament arc, the King Kai and whatever, they basically just let they just let Babidi and this other dude absorb the energy from Gohan to bring back Boo. And they were like, "Don't worry, we've got a plan. We got a plan." What was your plan? To let them bring back Boo? Like, bro, they just drag shit out. Just terrible writing. This is some of the worst writing I've ever seen now that I look back on it, man. I mean, this is a 20-minute rant so far. Holy shit, this is long. But, I mean, Dragon Ball Z just has so much garbage. Like, guys, I could be sitting here, like, making, like, hour-long fucking rants just exposing this garbage because it's trash, dude. Like, the King Kai and the other guy just let Gohan. God, it's so stupid, man. And then, you know, Vegeta becomes possessed by Bobby, and then even though, you know, when Vegeta and Goku got to team up initially to beat, you know, Boo, Vegeta again is like, no, I'm gonna take him by myself because I've got too much pride, even though this dumbass should have learned from the last time when he tried to do that shit with Cell. And Goku is so fucking gullible. And here's another thing going back to Cell. Why the fuck did Goku give Cell those sensu beans? Like, dude, it's like he wants to lose. And, you know, so sorry to go back to the Cell arc, but I mean, he you know, they had like a week or something before the Cell game start, and Goku's just like slacking for like 3 days, and everyone, his son and his friends are like, shouldn't we be training to fight Cell? Shouldn't we be training to fight Cell? Son, there's nothing we can do because this and that, and it's just stupid, bro. His plan was to rely on Gohan to go into rage mode. Like, dog, that shit was fucking retarded. God, man, I want to speed this up. I don't want this rant to take forever, but there's just so many points to where Dragon Ball Z is trash, man. And then the Boo arc, man, you know, Vegeta blows himself up for his kids and doesn't even kill Boo because, you know, plot armor, and you know, that's Vegeta's character development because he cares about his kids now because he sees Kakarot being a better parent than he is. Like, come on, guys. Like, what is this bullshit, man? And then later on, you know, they do end up teaming up to beat Boo, and then, you know, the bullshit with the spirit bomb, and then Boo just, Boo, you know, keeps going into different forms and whatnot. It just makes no sense. There's like 10 Boos inside of one Boo's body, so they split, and then, you know, the bad Boo absorbs the good Boo, and then at the end it's Kid Boo versus the original Boo, and then Vegeta and Goku build up the spirit bomb energy to beat Boo at the end. And it didn't even make sense how they, like, the Earthlings didn't believe at this point that there weren't Saiyans and shit. Like, these guys weren't trying to save them from Boo and shit, considering that Goku has had to save the world like 50 fucking times at this point, and they get invaded like every other week by some like alien force that wants to destroy the Earth, but yet the humans still don't believe them, so they have to rely on Hercule to, you know, come up MVP and shit. and convince the Earthling to lend their energy, right? It's just dumb, dude. And what was the whole point of that Gotenks shit, dog? That shit was like 30, 40 episodes, it felt like. Just building up for this lame-ass Boo fight, right? Or like 20 episodes. And then the Gohan sword shit. Like, dude, Dragon Ball Z just loves to waste your fucking time. It's so fucking infuriating. They did that shit so many times. Gotenks. Oh, guys, we're going to combine Kid Trunks and Kid... Goten, and they're going to be able to become so strong, and they'll beat Boo, right? Oh, bro, would you look at that? It doesn't work because the writing is shit, and they want to drag out the story. So let's have Gohan get a sword, and then come, he's sitting here training for hella long with the Kai, and then he's going to come fight Cell and beat him. Oh, would you look at that? He gets absorbed by Cell. And so at the end, it has to be Goku and Vegeta to unite. And even though Goku's dead, they find a way for some bullshit with the old Kai to give up his life for Goku to come back to Earth again and then fight him, bro. And then you know the rest with the Spirit Bomb and shit. It's garbage, bro. This anime's garbage. I'm sorry, guys. Now, and let me say, it's one thing if you watch this shit as a kid and you're like, oh, well, I've got a lot of nostalgia for the anime. That's why I like it from back in the day. But, God, bro, I'm sorry, but you're just an idiot if you think this is still good. And like objectively. Now, you can look at it through the nostalgic lenses and be like, okay, I think it's good because of nostalgia. But if you look at the storytelling and writing and were to watch this as an adult and actually think this is good, you're just a fucking moron. It's as simple as that, man. And the ending of Dragon Ball Z, where they had this pointless ass tournament arc again for some reason, and then because Goku wanted Boo to come back, apparently somehow Boo came back in the reincarnation of like this 9-year-old African tribe kid, right, named Oob. Like, bro, what? And Goku abandons his family and friends at the end of the Dragon Ball Z to go off and train Oob or whatever. Man, this is why people this is why I laugh at you people when y'all motherfuckers are like, bro, you gotta watch Super or something, or dude, imagine, just wait until you watch Super to see how bad it is. Like, why would I watch Super if I already have seen how trash Dragon Ball Z is and I've wasted this much time watching Dragon Ball Z? Like, you people are just morons, man. Like, get it through your fucking thick skulls. If you have wasted 250 to 300 episodes of my time already with this garbage ass Dragon Ball Z series, and I watched it just because I wanted to see what everyone was talking about, and it was requested, why the fuck would I watch more of it? You people are morons, man. And look, I know there's gonna be a bunch of idiots getting salty and shit in the comments and crying and shit about Dragon Ball Z, bro, trying to do these mental gymnastics. Bro, this is why you're wrong. Let me debunk this. Just listen, man. You people are morons. First of all, no one's reading that book you're typing down there in the fucking in the comments, bro. And listen to, bro. No one cares about you, bro. I mean, you people are Dragon Ball fans. You think I give a single shit what any of you shonen tards think? God, man, you could not be more delusional. I mean, you're already delusional enough to think that this is a good anime, but to imagine thinking I care what you Dragon Ball Z-tards had to say, man. Man, completely pathetic. I mean, God, man. Now, guys, this has been a long-ass rant, but, hopefully it's been worth it to, the supporters out there. Shout out to you intellectuals, as always. I appreciate it. All the support you guys show, and just fuck the frauds and fake anime fans. I mean, these non-intellectual idiots that watch these videos coming to defend these garbage ass anime that I'm exposing. You people are just complete morons, and you could not be more pathetic, man. And listen, guys, I'm sure I left some shit out of in this rant of why Dragon Ball Z is trash, but this is just the shit I could remember so far. Hopefully, I gave enough explanation. And I gave objective, factual points in here. People in the comments will be, oh, dude, you didn't even get a fact here. Just shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about, man. You think a highly intellectual man like myself has to care what a little boy like you Dragon Ball Z fans have to say? No. And imagine being a grown man, bro. I see so many channels and so many grown men sucking off Dragon Ball Z to this day. Motherfuckers getting excited for that, and, like, the movies that are coming out and shit. It's crazy, dog. It's fucking crazy. Imagine being a grown man, hyping up shit, an anime based on fights. An anime based on fights in flashy colors. That could never be me, man. Oh my god. But yeah, guys, this has been the Dragon Ball Z exposal video. I mean, here you go, but god, man, it has not been fun watching this shit. Terrible pacing. I mean, in summary, terrible pacing, terrible story, terrible characters. I mean, garbage world building, garbage animation, even though it's in the 80s, so I can give you like a slight pass on that. But the fights are not even good. I mean, it's just, oh, kick, kick, punch, punch, and it's like, they're not even choreographed that well. Like, dog, it's shit. I mean, this anime is shit. If you like this anime, you're just delusional. And I don't care what you morons' opinion is. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, there's just so much, like, it just wastes your time in this anime. The Saiyaman saga was trash. The power-ups are lame. Super Saiyan is trash. I mean, it's just a motherfucker shaking and screaming, and then, oh, they're powerful, guys. It's just dumb. Goku's a terrible person. Like, he just abandons his fans and friendlies, multiple friends and family, excuse me, throughout this anime a bunch of times. Like, it makes no sense, dog. Garbage anime, predictable fights. I mean, you literally know who's gonna win. Like, what is the point in watching this? Garbage, just complete garbage, man. Now, if I left out anything you would like to add, guys, like from an intellectual, I'm talking to, go ahead and feel free to leave in the comments, expose this garbage further. But man, I think I've said my piece here, man. And it's just, Dragon Ball Z fans are complete idiots, and the anime is complete shit. I mean, I cannot stress it enough. But I will say some of the games are pretty good.